Along with us, you know that we were here last night, hunkered down as Hurricane Irma approached, and it is the following day, and right now we are surveying some of the damage that happened on the streets here in downtown Miami. As you can see behind me, this is an uprooted tree here, and a lot of the residents are out this morning trying to clean up some of the debris, some of the glass, move aside some of the street signs that fell over last night from the winds from Hurricane Irma. I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys are able to see more of the damage here. And again, that here is that uprooted tree I was talking about. You can see the roots here, and it is it's a very huge tree. It takes up it goes right into the street right there. Believe it or not, that is actually a street that it's blocking. The bike lane is right where that street sign is actually, and it's hard to even imagine that this was a street before today. It is filled with damage and debris and uprooted trees. As the residents here, many of them are waking up, coming outside to check the damage. Some of them even returning home, maybe even for the first time, to see what their homes look like. I'm going to introduce you to some of the residents that are here in the building next to me. But again, I'm going to have the camera stay this way so you can see all of this, all of the leaves and the damage that are coming. Many of the branches here that you see on the ground are being moved out by the residents in this household right here. And I'm going to walk in and introduce you to these residents that are still cleaning up. Hey guys, how's it going? You are live on ABC News right now. So tell me about how you guys woke up this morning and came outside and checked out the damage.
So it was yesterday that we woke up. I think it hit us more last night. No, not last night. 2 nights ago.
Yeah, two nights
ago. And when we woke up, so we have a lot of windows on that side, so when we came downstairs it was really shocking because we have a lot of trees, as you can see, so the damage was pretty visible.
It didn't look bad like storm wise, like we just thought like the trees were like going like super sideways.
We had one hit the house in the back there, but
yeah, but it just wasn't as bad as I thought. But once we walked outside, we were like, whoa, the damage is horrible, like even out up in the front and stuff. So
yeah, a lot of trees fell in the front.
And this was an evacuation zone, but you all decided to stay here and hunker down. What was it like yesterday when the winds were up to 100 miles per hour outside of your residence?
It was really kind of scary, but I mean, it's better than Naples. I mean, my sister and my family, we came, you know, from Naples, and I'm sure over there it was 10 times worse, so we're glad that our family was able to have us here and we were able to spend it together with our loved ones rather than by ourselves.
You all are cousins, and so you came up here because you were evacuated from Naples, came to this area. Although it's an evacuation zone, you felt that it was safe. When are you planning to return home to check out the damage on your own, potential damage on your own home?
Well, we have family here in Miami, so we're going to go check up on their houses, and then hopefully we could head back either tomorrow or the next day. And hopefully everything's okay in Naples. We're a little worried. We've just got into contact with some of our friends in Naples, so we're gonna have them walk by our house and hopefully everything's okay.
And what are they saying as they're seeing the damage themselves?
Not good things, but I mean,
they just say a lot of trees are on the floor and like tiles are kind of everywhere.
They just got cell service.
They just got self-service, which is like great, so we can get into contact with them. I know that our next door neighbors like told us that like the way to our clubhouse, like there was like trees everywhere, and now they could just see straight through our clubhouse.
And then in other communities around us, like it's like a river everywhere, it's water everywhere. So we're a little nervous to see.
We go to Florida Gulf Coast University, so I can't even imagine how it is over there.
Yeah, and I know we are showing some of those areas right now as people are watching on Facebook and online on ABC News Digital. Other areas that were impacted by this. So were you shocked walking outside? Were you surprised? Did you expect this much damage?
I didn't expect it. Honestly, it didn't. I guess like since we were so loud and like we didn't really hear as much as I thought I was gonna hear, but it was just pretty bad. Like when we walked outside and like one of our doors got like completely cracked. So I mean, it was kind of like windows. Yeah, it was like scary.
We could probably show you.
Yeah, so why don't we take a walk down there and see some of the more damage. I know you all are moving the debris and the leaves and everything that has fallen over in the wind here.
This is just a pond, and obviously it's filled with waves. And our parents woke up since like 8 a.m. trying to clean all this, and I don't even know what even the grandma's cleaning.
Oh wow, even your grandmother has been cleaning.
Of our oak tree that fell, and it made a really loud noise.
Wow, so just, I'm going to pause here for a moment. This branch actually broke off from their oak tree. I just want everyone to take a look at how big that is, and it broke off from this tree right here, you're saying?
Yeah, from that oak tree.
Wow.
And it's a strong tree, obviously.
Yeah, very strong tree.
And you can see some of our tiles flew off.
I'm going to take another step over here just to zoom in on this damage right here. You can see some of the tiles that fell off of this building, of this home here during the wind burst last night. Again, we were seeing winds up to 100 miles per hour here.
So that's where it's cracked. It's kind of hard to see, but like right here, like do you see, if you're like up here close.
And so where were you all hunkered down last night as the storm was coming?
We were upstairs.
Yeah. Or we were really all over it. We were here mostly in
Since
the
they're hurricane proof, like, but we literally could see everything through these windows. So I mean, it was really like, it was like an eye-opening experience because we were literally watching the storm.
And that had to have been really scary, standing here with these windows. I'm going to show these windows again. These windows are glass windows here, so they could see everything that was coming their way. Last night we're on a balcony for parts of our coverage, and we could feel those winds and can also see a lot of the debris coming.
Everything. Yeah, like scary. Like the palm trees were literally like sideways. I thought they were like dancing in the wind, kind of.
Did you all lose power here?
Yeah, we lost power on Saturday night is when we lost power. We've been out of power since.
You've been out of power since.
Yep.
Wow, so certainly a lot of help. I see a lot of relatives behind you as you all are preparing, and so
cleanup crew here.
yeah, what is your message to the other people as they're checking out their other areas and maybe some of your fellow residents in Naples?
I think we just have to be really thankful that like we can all be like, I mean, especially for us, we stayed as a family, so I'm just thankful that like the people are okay, because we can rebuild our homes, but like we can't rebuild our families. So I think that's the most important part, that all families are safe and sound.
Wow. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to put the camera back around. And I'm going to take another walk outside here so you can see some of the damage. Excuse me while I look down. I just want to make sure that I'm not stepping on or tripping over any of the fallen debris or branches that are here. Again, we are in downtown Miami right now, just 1 or 2 blocks away from Naples, and we just talked to a family that hunkered down here. This actually was an evacuation area, and so a lot of these people were ordered to leave, but they felt safe here in downtown Miami, so they decided to stay. And they came out last night, even early this morning, to survey the damage on their home, like so many people I know are doing across the state of Florida this morning. I'm going to flip the camera back around. And again, you can see the fallen debris, you can see the fallen trees here from all of that damage left over by Hurricane Irma. If you can bear with me, I'm gonna take another walk down this street, because this street was particularly hit pretty hard here in downtown Miami. It is just probably about 4 or 5 different trees that all toppled over. This is the first one that starts off the street here, as you can see, and this is the next. I don't know if you all can get an idea of how big that tree actually is, but it just toppled through that concrete. And where I'm standing right now, this is actually a street. There's a park across the street from us right now, but this is not a park. This is actually a bike lane right here, where all of these debris and these leaves are. Bear with me as I'm stepping over a few of these fallen branches. I just want to give you all a closer look at this house right here. Again, this is concrete. Concrete that was the tree was on the other side of this. And when the winds came, it just completely knocked over this tree, and it fell. And it fell right there into the street. And so I just want to flip the camera back around again. We were actually talking to the resident of this home earlier today. We were here early this morning. Gio Benitez, ABC News' Gio Benitez, was filing for Good Morning America just around here. And this resident came home. He actually is a doctor, and he had been working 36 hours in the hospital. And he came home to find his home like this. His family evacuated this area. He says that they are safe and sound, in a different state actually. But he came home to see this damage and to see this fallen tree outside of his place, and he just got really emotional and started crying, seeing all of this damage here in Florida and at his home. I'm gonna flip the camera back around. You can see inside of his of the gate too, a little bit of the trees and the fallen damage. There was actually tiles from that roof up there that fell down inside, and I'm going to zoom in so that you are able to see those as well. We took a walk with him inside of his home a little bit earlier, and there you can see those tiles. Those are from the roof. So the wind forces were strong enough to move those tiles and knock that down. I'm going to zoom out. And they were also strong enough to completely knock over this concrete post that was guarding this tree right there. And as you can see, it's completely uprooted. The branches completely broke off here, and now again it is laying in the bike lane on this street, along with some of the street signs that were here in this corner. You may see a lot of people that are out right now. There are some residents that are checking on their homes. There are also some tourists in the area, maybe even some other curious visitors that just want to see the impact that Hurricane Irma left on this area. I'm going to keep walking again so I can show you a little bit more of the damage here. That same doctor that we were talking about, this is the same tree that we just mentioned. This is another tree that fell on the opposite side of his house here. And as you can see, very much the same story here. Again, I'm gonna knock on this. This is concrete here, very hard and sturdy concrete. And those wind forces just came and knocked this tree over, and it is now laying on the side of the lawn and blocking the sidewalk. We're still getting a little bit of wind here, but definitely not as heavy as we were getting yesterday. And here is another tree that was uprooted again. This one's actually next to a power line, and so if anything, you know, we are very thankful that that power line didn't knock over, but so many people lost power in this area, and you could just see the destruction and the damage again. I'm sorry if it's getting a little jumpy here. I'm walking on twigs, but I'm giving you a closer look at just how massive this tree is that was completely uprooted and knocked over into the bike lane, into the street. And you can even see the street sign right there. That street sign actually says that it was the bike lane, and it was completely knocked over. There is also, I'm gonna walk a little bit closer. There's also a falling branch right there, and so it's still very dangerous here. If any wind gusts come, that branch could potentially fall. So I'm gonna put the camera back around. This is the damage that's left over here, and I could tell you that it's not just on this block. If you walk over towards Brickell Street, which is the next block down, you see even more damage and more uprooted trees, more debris. Even on the sidewalks, you could see shattered glass. This morning when we walked outside, it was almost like there were diamonds across the floor, the way that the glass was glittering, as you can see it. And that was from some of the windows in this area that maybe weren't hurricane resistant or impact resistant. And so as soon as those 100 miles per hour winds came their way, they just completely shattered onto the ground below it. So again, I'm Rachel Scott here in downtown Miami. Stick with ABC News for all of your Hurricane Irma updates. We do have the ABC News app. Download that. We will have Hurricane Irma updates on there, and we're going to continue to follow the damage and the aftermath of this storm. For now, I'm Rachel Scott for ABC News in downtown Miami.